So let's start by something that we are familiar. Maybe by next week, you have a deadline of some task that you have to done. But you say to yourself, I got time. I'll do it later. I'll do it just when it's 2 hours before the deadline. What makes it different? And you know what? But by doing this, you actually spend much more time being unproductive. And maybe you spend all the times before the deadline just scrolling through social media, watching all the videos. And when it's done, you just get that thing finished. But imagine if you can finish this work exactly at this moment. Let's say it's cleaning your messy room, right? Just clean it today. Maybe it will take like 2 hours. And when it's done, you can get some time to relax. And also, you can move on the next big thing that you want to do. It's only like save you so much time and get you like further in terms of where you want to be. Procrastination doesn't just delay your task, but that also delays your potential. You could lose the chance to grow, to improve, or to get more out of your time. Before we get started, make sure to give me a subscribe. Also, give this video a like, share it to your friends who could be benefited from watching this video, and to also help them stop procrastinate. So let's dive in. And let's start with one of the big quotes that I get from the book Atomic Habits. So it's called The Power of 1% Improvement. The book talks about if we just improve every day for 1%, for this whole year, when it's finished, you get to be 37 times better as an individual. That is so much better than you could have done by not being productive. When you procrastinate, you are not just delaying one task, but you are stopping yourself from making those small daily improvements that lead to big results over time. So instead of thinking, I will start tomorrow, focus on making that 1% improvement today. Do something small, trust me. The more you build that momentum, the easier it gets. Next, I want to talk about 2-minute rules. Okay, the hardest part is basically getting started on something, right? Sometimes you feel overwhelmed that you don't even know where to begin. And that's where the 2-minute rule comes in handy. And it's one of my favorite concepts from Atomic Habits. The 2-minute rule says that if a task is too big, break it down on something that you can just do it under 2 minutes. For example, if your goal is to read more books, don't think about finishing the entire book, but just commit by reading one page. You can read that under 2 minutes, and that's it. Once you read that one page, you will find yourself that you get addicted to it and you want to know what's more. And that's just how you get to beat that procrastination, by getting started with something small. And it's just the same with anything else, whether it's starting a workout, cleaning your room, or working on that assignment that's hard. Just take that first small step, the 2-minute rule. This 2-minute rule will trick your brain to get started, and before you know it, you are in the flow. The hardest part is always starting, but once you do it, it's so much easier to keep going. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that, and that's how I personally feel. The next thing is to build the environment to push you instead of relying on motivation. Now let's talk about the big conception when it comes to productivity: relying on motivation. We've all felt it, like the spark of motivation when we want to lose weight and we watch or listen to video or people who share about their improvement after 6 months, and you see the difference. Wow, I really want to have that changes in myself as well. And now you get to work out, you lay out the mat and you just have to work out. But you know, I realize that a lot of people get stuck in this, like motivation that only lasts for like mostly up to, let's say, a week, because after that you just don't have that motivation anymore. And I don't want people to rely on motivation itself, but instead build that environment that can help you and remind you to do the workout. And that is as simple as setting the mat early on, so when you work out it's all ready, or just fill up the bottle of water, make it ready. Or also, I like to follow the fitness gurus on social media, so when I see they share like tricks, oh, this is a good diet plan that you should follow, and this is how you train your back muscle, and a lot of stuff like that. Once I see that, I get reminded, oh wait, I should work out. And that's just one of the ways that can help you immediately. And before you leave, I also want to give you some practical advice that you can start to implement earlier. You know, I'm a girl who's big of practical advice. I don't watch or listen to something that I cannot do or like do immediately to change my life. So if you are onto that, subscribe to me. I'll be your friend. So what's that? That is to understand your own time. When are you most productive? For me, after I've watched myself by doing the time management schedule, and I will literally check what I do and in every hour, and when I take a break in that hour, I find myself to be the most productive early in the morning. That is the first 3 hours when I first woke up. And I'm also very productive after dinner. So after dinner until I sleep at night, I am full on can focus 6 hours straight on something that I want to do. Let's say I want to learn language. I can literally take 6 hours to cram in all the information that to be good at this language that I want to learn. So once you have found this, now you can set your life based on this. Just use the time when you are most productive to do the hardest thing that will give you the most result in your life. Thanks, me later. So the takeaways from this video about avoiding procrastination is to focusing on small little improvements and using the 2-minute rule to build the system instead of relying on the motivation to get your goals done. Remember, stop waiting for the right time or the perfect time when you have the motivation, and start today. Just do a small step. You'll be amazed of how much you have accomplished after you keep consistently do the small step. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it to someone who needs to hear this. So let me know in the comments what's one task you've been putting off and you really want to tackle right away, right now. I'd love to hear what you guys think about, and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.